you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, welcome back to the bright side. We've been talking about the ketogenic diet. A very, very helpful way of eating. Generates these powerful brain chemicals, heart chemicals called ketones. We've been talking about the steroid hormones, the youth and fertility and anti-aging hormones. And we've been saying that one of the best ways to upregulate, to stimulate the production of these anti-aging hormones is to calm the body down. Deep breathing, muscle relaxation, especially in the face, the facial muscles and the tongue muscles. Just relaxing the tongue can activate the parasympathetic relaxation nervous system. Of course, controlling eating behavior is perhaps the ultimate way to calm the body down. The ketogenic diet, caloric restriction, fasting. Problem with food and eating is our propensity to eat for pleasure versus eating for need. And a lot of that has to do with brain chemistry, particularly the brain chemical dopamine, which is associated with reward and with pleasure. We've known about dopamine for over 100 years. It was first synthesized in 1910, but it's only been since the 1950s, and especially in the last 20 or 25 years, that we've really begun to appreciate the importance of dopamine for day-to-day life, for how we live our lives. Until recently, it was considered just a precursor or an intermediary chemical for the production of other hormones, particularly adrenal hormones. And indeed, dopamine is very, very important for adrenal hormones, especially adrenaline, as it's called. But over the past couple of decades, our understanding of the importance of dopamine for healthy brain function has had a really important impact on the treatment of brain disorders, mental health disorders, Parkinson's disease, ADD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Dopamine is also being recognized more and more as the ultimate brain chemical of addiction, which makes sense because we're all addicted to reward. It's now recognized that dopamine plays a key role in the development of drug addiction, particularly when it comes to stimulants like cocaine and speed. Even caffeine and nicotine have a dopamine connection, addictions to caffeine and nicotine. When we feel down or we feel sad or we want to enjoy the pleasure of winning or getting a prize, achieving some kind of success, gambling, winning the lottery, playing cards, all of these are a reflection of a need for dopamine. We're attempting to upregulate dopamine secretion. If you're addicted to gambling, you're addicted to cigarettes, you're addicted to coke or speed, or if you just can't get enough of the pleasure of winning the lottery or just buying lottery tickets all the time, chances are pretty good that you're trying to upregulate your dopamine. And of course, if we're low dopamine or we're trying to stimulate dopamine, it's very easy to fall into the trap of eating food, lots of food, which is the fastest and easiest way to stimulate dopamine, especially sugar food. Sugar really upregulates dopamine, at least in the short term. In the long term, it will deplete dopamine, but in the short term, eating sugar and carbohydrate-rich foods upregulate dopamine. Food manufacturers know this. Marketers and advertisers who work for food manufacturers are quick to exploit this phenomena. And this is especially problematic if we are deficient in dopamine. Some of the signs of dopamine deficiency, according to Dr. Eric Braverman, who's written extensively about this in his book, The Edge Effect: sugar cravings, decreased sex drive, chronic fatigue, sleeping a lot, a history of drug abuse and addiction, weight issues. These are all signs that you may be dopamine deficient. Dopamine, as I say, is a precursor to adrenal hormones, and there's a very important relationship between dopamine and adrenal gland functioning. That means that in addition to dopamine deficiency, many of our unhealthy eating habits, food cravings, food addictions, addictions to sugar, can be linked to adrenal gland burnout. And also because the adrenal glands are connected to the thyroid or related to the thyroid, hypothyroidism can do this too. So adrenal gland burnout, dopamine deficiency, hypothyroidism, all of these can lead to food addiction, eating behaviors that are out of control. So when we figure out how to access dopamine without eating, not only will we be able to calm the body down, but we'll also be improving thyroid function, we'll also be improving adrenal gland function, we'll be accumulating anti-aging benefits, healing benefits, youth and fertility hormones will be upregulated. All of this can be accomplished by learning how to access dopamine without having to eat, without having to go for food. And of course, will benefit our entire body. And the good news is we can do this. We can access and improve dopamine chemistry without having to eat through non-eating mechanisms. If we can learn to reward ourselves in a non-caloric fashion or a non-food fashion, we can lose weight, we can increase our sex drive, we can improve chronic fatigue, we can wean ourselves off of drugs and alcohol, we can reduce the load on our digestive tract, redirect blood flow and energy from the digestive system, conserving energy for the good stuff, for building, for growing, for fighting cancer, for fighting neurodegenerative diseases, for fighting all kinds of chronic degenerative diseases, for creativity, for fertility, for a general sense of well-being. This is all by learning how to access our dopamine nervous system, our dopamine neurology, without eating. And of course, a huge part of this involves making sure that we're getting abundant nutrition. A well-nutriated body in terms of protein and fats and carbohydrates, as well as fiber and water and micronutrients, can go a long way towards upregulating or stimulating our dopamine nervous system, our dopamine neurology. And then there's also great nutritional supplements that are specific for dopamine in the adrenal glands and for thyroid and for appetite suppression. It all works together. When we upregulate our dopamine, our adrenal glands will, adrenal functioning will improve, our thyroid functioning will improve, and we won't be eating as much. That's where tyrosine comes in. I've talked about tyrosine in the past. Tyrosine is like if you take enough of it, it almost acts like caffeine or speed. It's a raw material for making dopamine. The body will turn tyrosine into dopamine. So if you think you may be dopamine deficient, if you find yourself craving sugar, or you have problems getting out of bed in the morning, or you're noticing your weight is starting to increase, or you're addicted to cocaine or drugs or nicotine or caffeine, and you want to wean yourself off of these drugs or improve dopamine production, think about getting on a little bit of tyrosine. Not a lot, because if you take a lot of tyrosine, it can make you really jittery, but if you take just enough tyrosine, just a small amount, say 20 to 25 milligrams a day, you may be able to upregulate dopamine without going into the jittery effects. All right, we'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking dopamine as it has to do with the ketogenic diet and fertility and youth hormones. The ketogenic diet is a great way to upregulate dopamine. Reading from the journal Neuroscience Letters. This is from June 2014. Dopamine, a ketogenic diet alters the activity of the dopamine system, which may contribute to the diet's therapeutic effect in reducing epilepsy. Yes, you can upregulate dopamine, get all the benefits of upregulated dopamine by going ketogenic. Just another reason to use the ketogenic diet. You can use supplements to upregulate dopamine. I love tyrosine. You don't want to take too much tyrosine, but if you take just enough, you can get a nice bump in your dopamine levels, maybe 20 to 25 milligrams a day. If you don't want to go to the supplement route, you can eat tyrosine-containing foods. Cottage cheese is one of the all-time great tyrosine-containing foods. High-protein foods in general are going to get you tyrosine: chicken, beef, fish, turkey, oats. Other supplements that can help you with dopamine production include phenylalanine, which is similar to tyrosine. It's also found in high-protein foods. And, of course, when we take control of our eating behaviors, not only will we'll be accessing calming chemistry, turning on calming chemistry and turning on the production of dopamine, we'll also be turning on the production of our youth and fertility hormones. And all the inflammatory symptoms that are associated with aging and chronic degenerative disease will improve. The less we eat, the longer we live. The less we eat, the better we feel. I know that's harsh because we love to eat, but the fact of the matter is, caloric restriction is the ultimate anti-aging, anti-inflammatory strategy. This way of eating is called the CRAN diet. Calorie restriction with optimum nutrition. Some people call it the CRAN diet. Calorie restriction with adequate nutrition. Either way, it's a powerful, powerful anti-aging and healing strategy. All chronic degenerative diseases, all of them. This is 80% of our health costs and 80% of our health misery. Something like 60% of Americans have at least one chronic degenerative disease. It gets worse as we get older. Something like 70% of people over the age of 60 or 70 have 2 chronic degenerative diseases, and they're all linked to food and digestion. With the exception of infections and injury, there is no chronic, long-term, progressive disease that does not have a fundamental food and digestive component. Take that to the bank, folks. No matter what your health challenge is, look to the digestive system and look to food. This is not an assertion. It's not even fact. It's just common sense. It's fact and it's common sense. That's because for internal long-term progressive disease to be present, the blood has to be chronically contaminated. The blood and the lymph, the circulatory system, is the bridge between the digestive system and disease. When the digestive system breaks down, which it does over time, the blood ultimately becomes dirty and contaminated, the lymph becomes clogged, and it is a short hop to degenerative diseases of all kinds from that point. The blood has to be chronically contaminated for degenerative disease to show up. The blood has to be dirty. Toxemia, toxic, sepsis, whatever you want to call it. The blood has to be dirty for chronic degenerative disease to show up, period. And specifically, it's the intestine that is the major point of entry of the dirt into the circulatory system, into the lymph and into the blood. Now, I'm not talking here about specific symptomology. I never talk about specifics, or rarely anyway, talk about specific symptomology. It's all systemic. It's the entire body. It's the entire system. That's how you know it's the blood. It's because the entire system is affected. If you have an issue, a health challenge that is affecting you from head to toe, that's covering the entire body, that's dispersed throughout the body, what else can it be but the circulatory system? And if it's a circulatory issue, it's got to be a blood issue, got to be a digestive issue. Nothing gets into the blood without entering in through the digestive tract, with the exception of intravenous drug abuse or perhaps vaccines. We don't need specifics to be healthy, folks. We don't need to name our disease to be healthy. It doesn't matter what you call your disease. The nomenclature, the naming of special diseases, the naming of individual illnesses is for specialists, not for patients. It doesn't make us any better. It's for standards of care, for governments and insurance companies and medical associations and professionals, not for us, not for patients. Naming diseases, giving specific diagnoses, addressing symptoms serves the pharmaco-medical corporate model, not us. It's not for us. Your diagnosis doesn't matter. Special diseases are for specialists, not for patients. The body has a generic quality. We don't need to know the specifics if we want to be healthy. Specifics are for specialists. And not only are they unnecessary, they don't do us any good. We don't need to know the specifics. They take attention, and they take power, and they take control away from the body. And they hand it over to doctors and to pharmacists and to experts and authorities. They're the tools of the trade. Specifics and symptoms are the tools of the trade for surgery, for drugs, and for radiation. It's how we get drugged out. It's how we get radiated. It's how we are allowed to, or allow the medical model to take out our organs. We think that it's all about the gallbladder. We think it's all about the uterus. We think it's all about the breast. So take it out, yank it out, and then my gallbladder pain will be removed. We don't realize it's about the entire system. The good news is, the bright side is when we take care of the general principles, what I call the bright side philosophy that we talk about every day on this program, the body itself will take care of the specifics. If we take care of the general principles, and it starts with food, the body will take care of the details. Write that down. We take care of the general principles: food, sugar, relaxation, oxygenation, the square of health, the fourfold square of health: nutriate, oxygenate, move, and rest. The body will handle the details. And of course, while the brain's important when it comes to stress and anti-stress, there's also a non-brain aspect, a purely physical, non-mental aspect to stress, which, like everything else in the body, is controlled by hormones, particularly our steroid hormones, our youth and fertility hormones, which are responsible for the long-term building and long-term growth and repair and long-term anti-aging. All of this has to do with activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, relaxation of the stress response, turning off the sympathetic nervous system, and improving all chronic long-term degenerative diseases. And this is where our 3 youth and fertility hormones come into play. Not forgotten to talk about these. We talked about pregnenolone. We talked about progesterone. We haven't talked about DHEA yet. We are going to be talking about DHEA because it's super duper duper important. These are your 3 youth and fertility hormones. And, by the way, like all the steroid hormones, they're versions of cholesterol, perhaps the single most important molecule in the body, cholesterol. They all the youth and fertility hormones come from cholesterol, as does the alternative or antagonistic hormone to the youth and fertility hormone, which is cortisol. All right, I'm pharmacist Ben. All right, from the journal Science Translational Medicine, I love this article. A new study from Massachusetts General Hospital provides additional evidence that amyloid protein, which is deposited in the brain of Alzheimer's disease patients, is actually an immune chemical. It's part of the body's immune system. The plaques and the tangles and the fibroids or fibers that are associated with Alzheimer's disease are actually part of the inflammatory and immune system. Imagine that. How? Who knew? Well, we did. We've been talking about that for decades, literally since the 1990s when I first started studying Alzheimer's disease. The fibers and tangles that are secreted in the patients of Alzheimer's disease, in the brains of Alzheimer's disease patients, are part of the inflammatory system and the immune system. Alzheimer's disease is an inflammatory immune disease. It's a defensive response. You don't need to be vaccinated. You don't need any drugs. You need to figure out what's getting into the blood that's activating the immune system. And once you do, Alzheimer's disease symptoms will reverse themselves. And I've seen it with my own eyes, and it doesn't take very long. Sugar, of course, is the ultimate toxin for the blood, and Alzheimer's disease is now known to be type 3 diabetes. It's a sugar disease, which is an inflammatory disease. Sugar is pro-inflammatory. Even more interesting, according to this article, it turns out that the amyloid fibers are actually a natural antibiotic. They actually have natural antibiotic properties. Could it be that the body is trying to control some kind of assault, perhaps some kind of infection? In any case, the amyloid proteins are functional. They're there for a reason. They're not to be vaccinated away or poisoned away. This is why doctors can't figure out the relationship or why people have these amyloid plaques. It's so important, you guys. Alzheimer's disease is just a awful curse and tragically unnecessary. 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Let's go to Oregon and welcome Karl, the Truth Raider, to The Bright Side. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Karl?
Oh, I'm just absolutely amazed and just absolutely phenomenal and awesome information as usual, Pharmacist Ben.
Thank you.
I have 3 interesting things. Today's topic is going to be today.
Today's topic is going to be today.
Truth Raider tips.
Okay, Truth Raider tips. What's up?
There's the jingle.
Okay.
Coconut oil, beyond
Love it.
tangy tangerine, and eucalyptus. Yes, I haven't heard you mention this one before.
Wait a minute. You saying all together? Put them all together?
No, these are 3 things that you can use separately, but they're all for the same common good.
Yeah? Talk to me.
Eucalyptus oil is the 3rd. Beyond tangy tangerine is the 2nd. And coconut oil.
How did you...
Coconut oil, I use... this is something that maybe some people use and some people may not use. But using coconut oil on irritated skin a little bit, that I've tested and tried it out, soothes the skin and the irritation goes away within minutes.
Nice. Yeah, coconut oil is a source of vitamin E, which is one of the most skin-friendly of all the vitamins, and it's very anti-inflammatory and soothing, so that makes perfect sense. Plus coconut oil just feels great on the skin. The fats feel really good on the skin. I'm not a big believer in using oil on the skin, but coconut oil and jojoba oil are 2 oils that you can have some benefits. Jojoba oil, we haven't talked about that one. That's really neat. That's not even an oil, technically. But coconut oil's got wonderful benefits. It's a great makeup remover. It's a great cleanser for the skin. Has soothing properties. It's tasty. It's got all kinds of wonderful benefits. I'm a big fan.
Absolutely. Now, let's get on to this little story really quick here.
Yes, sir.
It's totally out of season right now for the pansy flower, for example.
Okay.
We're going into the summer season, and we're going to be going into the summer plants.
Okay.
And I had a couple plants that were not doing very well, and they were turning yellow, and they're not producing flowers anymore, so I was about ready to throw them out. But I got my jug of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, got some clean water, and just put not very much, just a few sprinkles. That's all you need, folks. Just a little sprinkle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Mix it really good in the water.
Yeah.
Put it in like a little watering pitcher or something like that to water, and lightly water the plants. And in 2 weeks, they started turning green again. In the third week, they start developing blooms all over. And in the 4th week, I had 8 beautiful blooms on just one plant alone.
I love it. Yeah, plants benefit from the Mighty 90 essential nutrients too, especially the minerals. And we all know that our soils are mineral deficient. Thank you so much for that, Karl. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I want to get to You got anything else?
The eucalyptus oil, real quick. You want to touch
Okay,
on
real quick.
Eucalyptus. This is a great antihistamine as well.
Yes, sir.
My rash has been bothering me for years, but I started spraying this product, I don't know by name it is, to somebody who's like a natural, might be a homeopathic type of thing or herbalistic type of eucalyptus oil company, but it has a eucalyptus spray bottle, and it's pure eucalyptus oil. And you spray that on the affliction, and within days, the rash starts to secede.
Nice.
Starts to go away, and I've been using that regularly. And for foot fungus.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
important, folks.
For nails? For the nails or for the toes?
Yellow nails. I mean, you've got crusty feet. You have problems with that itching and that burning and that tickling feeling with having athlete's foot. Spray this. Clean your feet really well, folks, and spray some of this eucalyptus oil. You'll probably have to go to a health food store somewhere to find it. Or maybe Pharmacist Ben offers that in his products. Or
not yet, although I use it in some of my skincare. I do love eucalyptus oil.
Yes.
Good deal.
It wipes it out within 2 weeks. Your feet turn back to being pink again, and the irritation completely goes away.
Thank you, Karl the Truth Raider, for the Karl the Truth Raider tips. Have a great day, buddy. Good to talk to you, man. Take care. All right, Robin in Oklahoma, what's up? Welcome to the bright side.
Hi, Ben. I have a question. I'm 56.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think I'm menopausal. My blood work shows that I am.
Just starting? Are you just starting at 56?
No. I was in perimenopause in my mid-40s, so I've always dealt with hormone issues. But my question to you is, I've been taking bioidentical compounded Trieste and progesterone cream.
Okay.
Switched me to the Troche progesterone.
Okay.
So I'm on and I started having breakthrough bleeding. And then too much progesterone, you can just imagine the depression. So my question to you is, I do the healthy shake, I do the tangy tangerine, I don't eat bread. I mean, I keep
you want some strategies for the progesterone?
Please.
Oh, got lots of them. First of all, there's a great new longevity product called Zerofem, which you might want to check out. And there's also wonderful herbs, and there's also good nutritional supplements. Hang tight. We'll get you some progesterone ideas here when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. If you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. We'll take a quick, short commercial break, and we'll be back with more good health information right after this. Don't go away. Let's see. We're talking to Robin in Oklahoma. You there, Robin?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I think your breakthrough bleeding, as they call it, the spotting, is probably more to do with the estrogen than the progesterone. Right. Estrogen is really notorious for that. Right. So what you want to really think about doing is balancing out that estrogen. There's a couple strategies you could do. The progesterone will help, of course. You may need a little bit more progesterone. Are you using progesterone in a cream, or is it orally? Or you said a Troche, right?
Yeah, she's switched me to a Troche. So
okay, probably you weren't getting enough benefit or effect from the transdermal, from the skin progesterone. So the Troche may help you. A couple other things you might want to consider doing. Always use vitamin E with progesterone, and this is really especially important for folks who are doing progesterone cream. Vitamin E helps progesterone cream work more effectively, and it also improves the penetration of the progesterone. So if you have a compounding pharmacist who's making you a progesterone cream product, make sure you tell them you want to add vitamin E to the cream. And if you're taking progesterone as a Troche, you may want to start to add about 400 international units of vitamin E a day into your program. Vitamin A can also have a beneficial effect on progesterone by helping balance out the effects of estrogen. E and A, of course, work together. They're fat-soluble vitamins. And for many women, as they get older, they don't absorb their fatty foods or their fatty nutrients as effectively. So it may be that you're running vitamin E and vitamin A deficient, especially if you're not supplementing with additional vitamin E and A. 400 international units a day of vitamin E, and also it's also important to use 20,000 international units of vitamin A a day. Zinc is also very important for hormones, as are the B vitamins. I'd be using 50 milligrams a day of zinc. I'd be taking extra B complex. You'll get some in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, of course, and then also vitamin B6 is particularly helpful, or can be particularly helpful for all hormone health issues. For folks who are on birth control pills or taking hormone replacement therapy, B6 is a very, very important vitamin that many folks don't get enough of. You'll get some in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Personally, I'd be taking a little bit of extra B6 and a little bit of extra zinc picolinate as well. And then last but not least, there's a really neat product from Longevity that just came out a few months ago called Zerafem, and that one's made with vitamin A as well as vitamin E, but it also has niacin in there, vitamin C, and then it has a bunch of herbal material as well. And it's got some of the immortalium ingredients in there. It's called Zerafem. And then if you want to go the herbal route, chased tree berry, also known as Vitex, can be helpful. Red clover can be helpful. Red raspberry can be helpful. There's an over-the-counter product called Remifemin that I believe is made with something called blue cohosh or black cohosh. Those are herbs that can help you. You can get all these in an herbal store, or you can make your own herbal tinctures, which is the way I like to do it, is where you just go buy the herbs off the internet or at Whole Foods or at a health food store and make your own tinctures with alcohol and glycerin. I'm sorry, you had a question?
Yes, I do. How long does a woman, how long are we on these? I mean, is it forever? Right.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't hurt you, but yeah, of course. The nutrients, especially the herbs, you don't need to stay on forever, but the nutrients,
no,
yeah,
you want about the hormone replacement.
Oh no, well, it depends. Some women do stay on them forever if you want to kind of maintain. Supposedly, you'll help maintain youth. I wouldn't stay on estrogen forever. In fact, I'd be really careful with estrogen anyway, because that's a very dangerous, potentially dangerous substance. It's not really in the body in very high amounts. The amounts you're taking when you use a cream or using a drug are tens or hundreds of times the amounts that are in your blood, even thousands of times that are in your blood.
Even quote, bioidentical?
Yeah, there's no such thing as bioidentical. Some marketing guy came up with that term.
Okay, so what am I taking then?
I'd be using the progesterone without the estrogen if it was me. Okay. You'll have to see how you do. Stay on the estrogen only as long as you think you need it. Once you go through, you're not in total menopause. You're having zero periods. That's how you can tell.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to, but of course, too much estrogen. Yeah,
that's right.
No,
that's right.
I'm in menopause. I am menopausal now.
I would be weaning off. If it was me, I'd be weaning off the estrogen, staying on the progesterone, making sure I was using DHEA, which we'll be talking about here in the next couple of days. Maybe pregnenolone, but progesterone and DHEA is what I'd be sticking to if it was me.
Okay, well, I'm following all your protocols there. Okay. You lined out except for the herbs, and I'll.
Couple last things for you. Make sure you're using omega-3 fatty acids, but all the EFAs, but especially omega-3s, and make sure you're working on fat absorption. That's the key right there, because if you're not absorbing your fats, you're not going to absorb your fatty nutrients or your EFAs, and that can compromise your hormones too.
That's through the gut.
Through the gut. That means digestive enzymes, probiotics, etc. You know the drill, probably.
You know those little bubbles they put over people when they have a great idea?
Yeah.
Your bubble should be a stomach and intestine.
You're right. You're right. It should be. Good deal. Thank you so much, Robin. Have a great day. Thanks for calling. All right, Joe in Texas. Welcome to the bright side. Good morning. What's up? Joe. Do we got Joe?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
Hey. Yeah, listen, I got a little problem with my wife's having a problem. She's 72. She weighs about 130 pounds. For the last several months, I mean, she can't eat anything no matter what she eats. She has severe diarrhea.
Okay, that's not good. How old did you say, 70?
Yeah, she's 72.
Never happened before?
Well, off and on, but
I'd be doing a fast. That's a serious problem, because that means malabsorption, and that can accelerate her aging and ultimately her demise and lead to all kinds of problems. So here's the deal: you want to do a fast, a Suero V cleanse. That is where you use half a bottle of Suero V every hour for 2 or 3 days. Completely go food free for 2 or 3 days. Then when she starts eating again, see if she can notice specific foods that cause diarrhea, that stimulate diarrhea or make it worse. And then she's going to want to avoid those foods. All right, it could be that the body is trying to eliminate something. That's what diarrhea is. Diarrhea is one of the ways the body evacuates stuff that it's not agreeing with, or it can also be a sign that she's not absorbing her minerals. When you don't absorb minerals in the intestine, in the small intestine, which is where they're supposed to be absorbed, those minerals pass through into the large intestine, and minerals attract water. They're like water magnets. And as those minerals that are not being absorbed pass through the small intestine and enter into the large intestine, they'll pull water along with it, and you can go into diarrhea. So it's either a sign of some kind of food toxin that's getting into the intestine, and something that the body's trying to get rid of, or it's a sign of lack of absorption. You're not going to know until you do the elimination diet and start to work with food elimination and a food diary.
As it is, she eats hardly anything.
And she still has diarrhea?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sign that the body is not absorbing something. So whatever she's eating, it's not being absorbed. You can't have diarrhea if you don't eat. If there's nothing in there, you're not going to have diarrhea unless you have some kind of infection.
So how could someone really go a couple of days without eating?
Easy.
What
easy.
Would you suggest that she would be eating?
Nothing. It's easy to do. It just sounds scary, but it's really easy to do. Now, if you were eating for mental reasons and psychological reasons, it's tricky because, we become brain addicted. That's different. But from a purely physiologic standpoint or perspective, it's very easy to not eat. Now, the first hour or couple hours or 4 or 5 or 6 hours or half a day may be a little difficult because she's used to eating. But after that, she's not even going to want to eat. So, but you have to do it because until you figure out what's getting into the system that's causing the diarrhea, it's going to keep happening. And you can't figure it out until you clear the decks, until you hit the reset button. So food, fasting for a couple of days, then the elimination diet, food diary and the elimination diet. You can also try, once you get going with foods, using digestive enzymes and supplements that support the processing of foods. Probiotics can be very helpful.
Right now we have, my daughter got her some probiotics.
Make sure it's enough probiotics. I'm sorry, say again?
Probiotics.
Yes. Is she on any prescription drugs, by the way, Joe?
Oh, yeah, she's on a bunch of them. And I'm
okay. You know what, Joe? You got more going on. There's probably all... What is she on? What kind of drugs is she on?
Well, she's had a couple of stents, and I know she's got a statin drugs, and I know that you've been talking about that for a long time.
Statins can easily cause diarrhea, first of all. Any drug can cause diarrhea because, as I say, diarrhea is one of the ways the body evacuates poisons. So it could, if you look on the package insert for any prescription drug, diarrhea is a possibility, except for antidiarrheals, of course. But most prescription drugs have that component to them. So it could be that. That's what I'd be looking at. If she has heart issues, if she's got a stent, had a stent put in.
She does. She does have heart issues.
Well, if she has heart issues, then she could very easily have digestive problems. She could have fat malabsorption. There's a very important relationship between bile and the liver and the heart. A lot of stuff going on there, Joe, and it's very difficult to tell you on the telephone. But I would be looking, if it happened all of a sudden, I would be looking at foods. You may want to have her lay off her prescription drugs for a little bit and see if that improves the condition. There's tons of stuff I could tell you. You're going to need to call back because we're out of time. But basically, you're looking at the body trying to evacuate something, whether it's a prescription drug or whether it's some other food toxin, some kind of food toxin, or whether it's a lack of absorption of minerals. I can't tell you on the phone. If you want some quick relief, use bentonite clay. That'll suck up the excess moisture and it'll slow down the movement of foods through the intestine. And we're out of time. I apologize, Joe. Thanks so much for your call, though. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Norrie, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using a computer or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis. 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly, certified computer repair experts available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682. 1-800-591-1682.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Suffering from illness or disease? Frequently in pain? Overstressed? Always tired? The solution is to oxygenate your cells because disease cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. Introducing Vital Ion, the first mineralized edible oxygen in the world. Go to toolsforfreedom.com and get the Miracle of Oxygenation DVD free with any Vital Ion purchase. Call 800-770-8802. That's 800-770-8802. Let Vital Ion edible oxygen be your daily fountain of youth.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
My name is Don Wiskin. In 1994, I lost my 62-year-old father to complications of bypass surgery. In 1977, my 44-year-old brother was found dead in his apartment. He suffered a heart attack. In January of 98, my mother had a stroke and passed away in her bed. 21 days later, my 53-year-old brother passed away on his arrival to the hospital. He waited too long. In June that same year, I almost joined them at 42. What did I do? I took a 7-herb formula I now call Extendivite, made from garlic, cayenne, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, hawthorn, milk thistle, and valerian. Based on German studies of natural medicine, Extendivite is designed to clear blocked arteries, clean the toxins from your blood, and improve your immune system. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Did you know a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-900-0684.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs with no hassle. Never have to clean your machine by hand again. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer, only available by calling 1-800-900-0684. That's 1-800-900-0684.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Would you like to receive $250 to $1,000 cash per day? Go to richmoneyrich.com. No website, no selling, no explaining. Just take these simple 2 steps and go to richmoneyrich.com. You can be generating cash in the next 24 hours simply using this system. Good news is, it runs on 100% autopilot, and you don't need any experience to get started. It's easy. Get your share of easy riches and go to richmoneyrich.com. That's richmoneyrich.com. Go now. Brought to you by the Conservative Investor. Current returns not indicative of future results.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Vaping enthusiasts, head to VaporPalace.com. Choose from over 150 flavors and a selection of exclusive private stock vapor liquid you won't find anywhere else. New flavors are added every month, and our customer service is unbeatable. VaporPalace.com offers 15% off all vapor liquid on Fridays and get 10% off every order with coupon code VAPOR10 at checkout. Combine the codes on Fridays for 25% off. The ultimate destination for the vaping enthusiast. VaporPalace.com.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
There's nothing more enticing and intoxicating than the finest meat cooking on an open flame. Freeze-dried meat from newharvest.com is U.S. grown, 100% all natural with no extra fillers. Just grass-fed beef and free-range chicken guaranteed to stay fresh and delicious. Add New Harvest freeze-dried meats to your current food storage. You'll buy direct from the factory, not a third party, ensuring the best price and the highest quality. See all our products at newharvestfoods.com. That's newharvestfoods.com.
A good stove is at the top of the list for any serious survivalist. That's why you have to see the full range at emberlit.com. Simple, elegant, but extraordinarily efficient. Available in titanium or stainless steel, the Emberlit line of stoves are ultralight, pack flat, and work great. Fueled only by sticks and debris. From emergency situations to long-term survival, Emberlit stoves are up to the task. Emberlit, the most convenient, easy-to-carry wood stoves on the planet. See them all at emberlit.com.
Do you have dry hands or itchy, peeling skin? Are your cracked feet in need of a makeover for sandal season? Hi, my name is Diane Cook, the creator of Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream. Bee Spa is all natural, 16% beeswax, marigold extract, and other essential oils and nutrients. Bee Spa is great for exceptionally dry hands and feet, but Bee Spa can be used anywhere on the body. I am sure you will see a difference overnight. Bee Spa is the only cream you will ever need. The convenient 2.5 ounce size jar travels nicely and a little goes a long way. Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream costs $29.99. Use promotion code 101 for free shipping. Order Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream today at beespa.com. That's BEESPA.com. That's BEESPA.com.
Vaping enthusiasts, head to vaporpalace.com. Choose from over 150 flavors and a selection of exclusive private stock vapor liquid you won't find anywhere else. New flavors are added every month, and our customer service is unbeatable. Vaporpalace.com offers 15% off all vapor liquid on Fridays and get 10% off every order with coupon code VAPOR10 at checkout. Combine the codes on Fridays for 25% off. The ultimate destination for the vaping enthusiast. Vaporpalace.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs loves Beyond Tangy Tangerine, a complete nutritional supplement from Longevity. That's why he recommends it to everyone he meets and takes it himself every day.
Beyond Tangy Tangerine, my personal favorite longevity product, multivitamin mineral complex powder. You add it to water and drink. It's a great way to get yourself off the snack foods. It's a great way to demonstrate to folks who are non-believers in nutritional supplementation how effective a supplement program can be. It's great for kids. It tastes awesome. It's less than $50 a month, and it's truly a cornucopia of nutrition. Vitamins A, C, D, E, K, your B complex.
To get a nutritional supplement that's loaded with nutrients that even your kids will like, order Beyond Tangy Tangerine from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Suffering from illness or disease? Frequently in pain? Overstressed? Always tired? The solution is to oxygenate your cells because disease cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. Introducing Vital Ion, the first mineralized edible oxygen in the world. Go to toolsforfreedom.com and get the Miracle of Oxygenation DVD free with any Vital Ion purchase. Call 800-770-8802. That's 800-770-8802. Let Vital Ion edible oxygen be your daily fountain of youth.